Hello and welcome to another episode from our season's preview series, and today we're going to be looking at our new Chilean goalkeeper, Claudio Bravo. He signed with us this summer for around €15 million, about £12 million, so technically Claudio Bravo was more expensive than our possible first keeper, Marc-Andre ter Stegen. But, however, we do bring in a keeper here with vast experience in La Liga. He's had a lot of years under his belt. He's got to know the league. He's a very, very accomplished goalkeeper with Real Sociedad. He's captain for his native Chile, and he is a very, very good goalkeeper. So looking at the stats, he's made 229 appearances for Real Sociedad. I should add that he scored one goal in that time. He scored a free kick. You can see it on YouTube. It's quite an exciting video, I must say. Claudio Bravo smashing in a free kick. I'm not sure if we're going to see him quite do that this year, but what he has got is experience in the league. He knows the league inside out. He's very used to playing there, and as I mentioned in the Ter Stegen video yesterday, he will be very, very good with helping Ter Stegen, a young goalkeeper from abroad, settle into his surroundings and get to know the league, get to know the players, get to know the way of playing in La Liga, which is very different to the Bundesliga. So it's going to be very interesting to see Claudio Bravo helping with Ter Stegen's development. I think that's one of the reasons why Barcelona did work so hard to bring him in, because he's very accomplished in the league and he will be able to help no end. He made 7 appearances for Chile under-23 before making his debut, and since then he's gone on to make 83 appearances for the Chile, and many more to come, I'm sure. He's 31 years old, which, you know, sounds old as a footballer, but as a goalkeeper, that's not very old. He could go on to he's 36, 37, so expect him to smash the 100 caps mark for Chile. You know, he's really that good. He's a captain for his country as well. We saw him this summer lead his team out in Brazil for the World Cup, and Chile were outstanding. You know, they knocked Spain out the group stage, beat them 2-0 in the group game, went on at a very difficult draw against a Brazilian side, which really they were very, very close to beating. Went to a penalty shootout. Claudio Bravo was very, very good in that game, saved a penalty from Hulk. So yeah, I mean, Bravo had a very, very good World Cup. I think Barcelona did very well in doing the deal before the World Cup was over, because I think, you know, if he'd have waited until after the World Cup, it was very, very possible that Real Sociedad, after his performance, would certainly want more money. So I think it was, again, good business from Barcelona. Claudio Bravo will come in. We're not really sure who will be the number one keeper, him or Ter Stegen. Some people are suggesting that maybe Bravo will actually start a lot more games than Ter Stegen in the first season until he gets more experience, but I tend to think that Claudio Bravo will be used predominantly in the cup competitions, the Copa del Rey. He may make a few appearances in the Champions League, and possibly the league as well, but I do expect Claudio Bravo to be playing a sort of backseat role. What we do know, though, is if he is a second keeper, he's much better than, say, Pinto, which we had last season, and many seasons before that. Claudio Bravo is much more accomplished and much safer than Pinto. So it's going to be very interesting to see what sort of role he does play, but he's going to be very, very important to the squad in general. He's a player that will add a bit to the dressing room. He is a leader. You know, when he's in goals, he will feel his presence. He will feel he's got an authority, and I think that's certainly something that our defence needs. He is only 6'1", so like Ter Stegen, you know, he's not a monster. He's not a giant between the sticks. But as I say, you know, he's very, very good. His main attributes, of course, he's very, very good with his feet. Of course, that's essential for any Barcelona keeper. Like Ter Stegen, his shot stopping is one of his number one attributes. And also one of the things I do like about him, which I've seen a number of occasions, is corners. You know, he does like to make himself known. He does claim corners and crosses, and he's got a bit of presence about him in that market, which is what we need. You know, we need somebody who's going to be able to snuff out the corners and crosses, because that's so often where we do concede goals, and that is one of our weakest areas. So I think Claudio Bravo is a very, very good addition. Some people, when he came in, were questioning, you know, is he worth that amount of money? Why are we paying that sort of money for a second keeper? But I think, you know, in his performances in the World Cup showed that he is a very, very good keeper, a very accomplished keeper, and I certainly think that, you know, he will be very good for the squad, very good for the competition for places in terms of goalkeepers. He will be able to keep Ter Stegen on his toes, as Ter Stegen will know that if he does make a mistake or he does drop in form, Claudio Bravo will be there knocking on the door, you know, trying to get that first team place. We saw against Napoli, Claudio Bravo's debut, very unfortunate. A 30-yard effort just slipped past him. You know, it was a slight mistake from him, but as he said afterwards, he said, I'd rather make these mistakes now in pre-season where it's able to put them right, and then in the season I can assure you this won't happen again. He said that he was actually very casual when he was trying to go for that long-range strike, and it just slipped through his hands. But I'm sure that he'll learn from these mistakes. You know, we won't see anything like that from pre-season. Enrique will get them all very switched on, very focused, and I'm sure that we'll be seeing many more mistakes from Claudio Bravo, and certainly not one like that. So don't be worried by that mistake. That was something that happens to keepers all the time, and as you said, it's much better for it to happen in pre-season than it to happen in a very, very big game when the season has begun. So that's this preview on Claudio Bravo's season. We're expecting him to have a very, very good season. His first season at the club. It's going to be interesting to see how he does. But thanks for watching. As always, guys, this is the second review we've done now. Ter Stegen was first. We follow up with Claudio Bravo. Next up is Dani Alves. Stay tuned for that. That'll be up later on today. So thanks as always, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next podcast.